Hey YouTube, good morning. Again, this is video number 2, Sunday morning. 10.69 was released. I've actually video number 2, but I put out 3 so far, 2 already. This will be the 3rd. This is going to be the Memorial Park Drive, which is not focused exclusively on unprotected left turns, but a little bit more of a city, take you to a destination, turn around, interaction kind of a video. Those of you that have been watching my channel for a while are probably familiar with it. I have a specific route. I try to make the car go down. There's some interesting scenarios, but more importantly, I know everybody wants to see a 10.69 in various scenarios. The unprotected lefts were pretty amazing this morning in light Sunday traffic. The folks are just getting out of church here in Jacksonville, and the traffic will probably pick up this afternoon. I might get a little bit higher traffic scenario, but here we are doing an unprotected right-hand turn, and there's our creep network showing up, giving us a creep limit, and we need to stop right there. Okay, so we are using these new occupancy networks that Ashok mentioned. Okay, the right lane is open. I would have gone there as a human. Okay, it's going a little late. Okay, now it needs to commit. Okay, that was actually not a bad commit. That car, you're gonna see probably come up and pass me on the left. It squeezed in after I was already telling you I would have gone. So maybe a hesitancy to get in the lane, but it was safe. It wasn't, the car went around me and it wasn't any sort of rear-ending kind of closure rate, but it was a little late. I would have used a little bit more commit had I gone that late, but the car used a significant amount, so I'm going to give that one an okay. In any case, we were talking about some of the occupancy networks that Ashok Alaswamy mentioned on a video he released yesterday, which talks a lot about how they are now trying to view obstructed space and things behind obstructions, and to know if things are obstructed. There's a whole lot to learn in that video, and I've watched it 3 times, but I think I'm gonna have to watch it like 10 times before I really understand how it relates to what we're seeing here. In any case, if any of the Tesla team is listening, I just want to say thank you personally for all the hard work you've been doing, both on this release and on my specific scenario here in Jacksonville. It's a tough one, and I tell you what, the tools you've implemented are definitely making it easier to solve. Really liking the creep network and the median network. All right, let's see what happens here. Early this morning, there was a flashing light here, and now it's a green, and it didn't stop. Sometimes I get these double green lights, and it pauses for the second one in an awkward way. I haven't really had any of those interactions yet today. It'll be interesting to see if that is something they have fixed in 10.69. Oh, hold on a minute. Let me make sure my thermostat is set for 69 degrees. And I am going to do what I normally do here and take a right turn here to readjust the route, just to hop off of the highway. But while we're here, let's take a look at the visualization. I don't see any major changes here. I do think the trajectory is pointing a little further than it was in the previous version. All right, here's the manual disengagement. And turning to the right. As soon as it remaps, I will re-engage and let it replan the solution here. All right, we are back engaged. So we've got a couple interesting scenarios coming up here, and one of which I know a lot of you are excited about. Map data has been one of the weak points. The kind of the fight between the visualization networks and the map data networks. I guess map data isn't a network, but a data source, to where it's kind of having to decide what to do based on maps. Here, when we get down to this next intersection, and here is a unprotected left through a light, it was fine. A little bit jerky, kind of went straight and kind of hard left there, but it was fine. When we get to kind of the end of this street here, the city has built a roundabout where there used to be a whole bunch of stoplights. So the map data still thinks there's a stoplight, and it has created some confusion, and the car has been a little bit hesitant, and I'm already seeing that they still have cones and things like that up here, and it looks like it has us going straight. So this is going to be great to watch, and I'm going to leave it here just so you can see what the map data shows versus what we're going to see visually. And I'm even seeing some new signs that I'm not familiar with, that I haven't seen before. Yeah, they got these white and black right arrows here. It's got a yield sign here, so that's new. So there's a little bit of a roundabout here, and then there's a second roundabout up there. So we're waiting on that truck. Let's see what it does with these cars. Is it going to wait? Oh, it's going to be assertive there. Okay, hey, went fine. Continuing here, look at this. This is not on the map data, yet it is navigating it just fine in this version. I'm really, really happy with that. I think that's great. So here we've got a second one. So this is where some more stoplights were. And we got some cones. So what it needs to do is go to the second turn. There is no yield there. It was a little cautious. It's got it mapped correctly. Holy smokes. Highlight reel. That is what I'm talking about. Map data did not fight vision that time. The vision won out. And I think that's where we're getting towards, is just where the confidence is just better and better and better. All right, we've got a little straightaway here in a couple turns, so I'll go back to the full screen visualization. This is where we're going to see parked roads, drivable space, perhaps some pedestrians, bicycles, and things like that on this type of a road. Truck jumped out there, marked in blue, didn't hit the brakes at all on that one. Now we're slowing because the distance is closing, but it didn't do anything unusual here. We've got a couple scenarios of flashing yellows. To this point, the flashing yellows have consistently always showed like yellow and red on the screen. And I don't know if that's a perception issue or what they're choosing to show us, but let's see what we see here today. And we're going 29 miles an hour, yellow, 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 oh, a little bit of red. And then but it didn't even slow down. So it's continuing through this yellow, and here's the second yellow light. And that one was all yellow. Didn't see any red sneak into that one. And it didn't do any unnecessary braking either. It kind of maintained a consistent distance here on the follow me car. Okay, I'm just checking my map here. Yep, we're going to be taking a right turn here. Oh, it looks like he's pulling over to park. I've got a car behind me. I am going to not tap my... Okay, wait. Oh, gosh, this is really awkward. I would have tapped the accelerator. I wanted the car to figure it out, and it did. There's a pizza delivery guy right behind me, and you know sometimes those guys are in a rush. So we're taking a right turn here. Oh, look, it's going to squeeze its way over now. It's protected with a green light. Blinkers on. Wow, really good. I'm okay with that. It kind of wanted to get to the right around that car, and the light turned green, so it all kind of solved itself at the same time. Okay, this is a multi-way stop. It's a four-way stop. There's no other cars. It's clear, completely did that one just fine. Here's an interesting one. This stop sign over to the left that you can see probably through the camera does not apply to us. The car cautiously is going 15 miles an hour, which is, obviously it's a neighborhood. I'm not going to say it's too slow, but I think this should be a 25, not a 15. And I didn't see a 15, and now there's a car coming up behind me, so I'm going to just manually scroll this up to 25. That's probably some map data there. All right, we're going to take this all the way to the end, so I'll go back to the full screen visualization. Flashing yellow, very dim one. I don't think I wasn't looking at the screen the entire time. It was flashing to my eyes, but it was very, very dim on that bulb. These two cars are waiting on us. Fine. He's got his reverse lights on, but not moving. It would have been interesting to see if he was backing up a little bit, if it would have stopped immediately there. All right, got a bunch of little bikers over here on the sidewalk just to kind of see what the visualization shows. They're off the road. They're not on the road. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bikers, and I think I got all 5 of them. Nice. All right, so far so good. Stoplight here. Remind you guys of this intersection. On the other side, there's been some lane confusion in the past when cars stack up. You got to get into the specific lane to go straight. It's not intuitive. It's kind of one of those roads that the locals know what lane to be in, but if you're not from here, you might not always get in the right lane. I think the map data is correct. And we also have a lot of these, you know, stop when pedestrian is in the crosswalk type of signs. And I have yet to really have one affect me here. Okay, that's doing good. Got in the middle lane to go straight. Perfect with a green light. No change. All right, so that's good. Fairly straightforward with without any traffic confusion. Some of these lights on this road here are obscured by the trees until you get up a little closer. At times, I've thought the car do have some potholes here. It's definitely not dodging any of those potholes. I know potholes is another conversation that we have on whether or not it is actually dodging any of them. I didn't feel any deviation there. But the trees, you know, can kind of occlude the stoplights, yet the car sort of knows there should be a stoplight there based on map data, and sometimes you can feel it kind of wondering what the situation is until it can actually see it. All right, slowing down aggressively to let him kind of get into that turn lane. And here's another one of the stoplights. It's kind of blinded by this oak tree until you get up close. Another Model Y. And we are at Memorial Park. Manual disengagement there. That was 0 disengagement today with one very slow passing of a truck that was completely safe. It was just uncomfortably slow with the driver that was right behind me being a little bit impatient, but that's not a strike on this software at all. I would say the shining light of that drive right there was it handled 2 unmapped roundabouts that are new to this location great. And I think that's kind of what we want to see, is that kind of improvement where the vision starts to take over. All right, I'm going to turn around, do a 180-degree turn here. And then head back and see what we get. All right, for those of you that are familiar, this turn is kind of a funny angle. It's handled it just fine, but let's see if 10.69 changes any of its behavior here. See if we get a creep limiter here. And what angle? Okay, we got creep, but I don't see a creep network. Interesting. Okay, we're clear to the left, but not to the right. Still no creep limiter network in this intersection. After this car, we are clear both directions, and it should just roll it. Okay. I just caught a couple glimpses of some blue as I was making that turn where it looked like it was mapping some lanes. It'll be interesting to see whether or not that was good mapping or not. I would have thought that we would have gotten a creep limit on that one. Interesting. All right, I'm just going to double check my route here. And that route is good. I think I'll just let that one ride. Got his blinker on, brakes. Showing anything unusual here? Looks like it's got blinkers and brakes and everything displayed. Let's see what this commit is. That wasn't a bad, that was a good commit, actually. It wasn't too bad. Sometimes after those cars stop and you turn into an intersection, it's been a little hesitant to kind of get up and go again. That one was okay. Obviously, we're in a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit zone here, so it's not like you're on a busier city street. A few seconds ago, when we passed that dumpster, did I see a new visualization for something, or was it just garbled? That'll be interesting to go back and look at too. Maybe I just caught it out of the corner of my eye as I was looking down. I know, on the side of the road, we kind of have trash cans, cones, pedestrians, but, the 3D assets available, hasn't really changed much with the exception of those. And we've got a white Model 3. All right, going straight here. I got a blinker just then, and that shouldn't have happened because we're going straight here. It felt like it was he's going too slow, I want to go 33 kind of a blinker. That kind of impatience. It didn't stick with it, but I think we saw it there for a second. Trash cans. There's something else on that. Okay, that's the second time I've seen it. So let's look at this a little bit more. It's like they're having a little bit of I don't know, like a little gray mountainy sort of thing. Like it's trying to show like piles of debris or something with like a light gray shadow. All right, he's turning right. We're going straight. So let's see how it commits after he clears. Good blinkers and lights. Good. Oh, that was a really good commit there. And we're already back up to 30. So I like the acceleration. I think that's an improvement. We'll count a couple more before we call it a win, but it definitely feels like the acceleration after pausing is a little bit better there. Flashing yellow. Didn't see any lights on that one. Okay, the road, we're turning right here and then left. There's a cone here with a big pothole, and it never visualized it, did it? It went around it, but it never visualized it. It's like somebody had stuck a cone in like a place where the road was damaged. All right, we're doing a left here. This is a two-way stop sign, so we got to yield to the left and to the right, and there's a little bit of a visibility issue left. Let's see if, oh look, we get a creep network. So the creep network is popping up when it knows it's got a visibility issue. And now I'm wondering if this is back to the occupancy networks that Ashok mentioned. Like, we didn't get that creep network at that 3-point intersection that we had back there, but we did just get it there at a stop sign. Interesting. There's probably some logic in there. All right, coming back on our flashing yellow lights with a little bit different sun angle. This guy jumped out, but he didn't even get marked blue, so that was fine. A little bit of red popped on the visualization there. And I see some red again. So I'm not sure about that. That's been there a long time. Let's take a look at this trash over here. Yeah, there is something next to the trash cans that's a representation of like yard debris or something. bunch of barrels and a caution sign. One day it's going to need to read these. And here are all the construction signs from this roundabout construction that are here, but they're all kind of covered up because I guess they don't apply right now, which goes into that conversation about when will we need to be able to read every sign, yellow signs, orange signs, you know, they all kind of have their time frames. And I didn't talk about it on the last leg, but on this leg at this same intersection here, and I'm going to go back to the map view so you can see where the roundabouts are not mapped. This is a school zone with a timed flashing yellow school zone. And here we've even got a roundabout indicator here just to let the local traffic know that the traffic pattern has changed. All right, let's see if it knocks this one out. It's a little bit busier than the last time we were here. We got traffic from the left. We have a yield. I got 3 cars to the left. I'm just going to expand it a little bit so you can see everything that's going on. Nobody's behind me, so I'm just going to let it go for a bit. Okay, is it going to go? Okay, and it went for it right there, and I kind of totally cut that person off. So that was not satisfactory. We were going very, very slow. That wasn't a risk of an accident or anything because we were just going like 10 miles an hour. But, okay, so now it's wanting to turn right on a road that has changed for sure. This whole little intersection changed. Okay, so I'm going to give that roundabout a thumbs down. It navigated it, but it kind of didn't get the traffic right, and there was a guy that was coming around and we just kind of crawled out in front of him and sort of forced him to stop. Yeah, okay, well, back by popular demand, here comes an unprotected left. This is the same unprotected left I've done on this drive every single time I've done it. It's got a light a couple blocks down to the left that can create some gaps, but it's a varsity one. It's not quite the same as mine because the stoplight does create scenarios, but the car sometimes, okay, so we got some median network. So sometimes it goes for it when it shouldn't because of the traffic from the right going so fast. Okay, it needs to stop right here. I'm happy with that. I think it's, and I'm not looking at the screen, there's a small gap here that if it went for it would have to use a lot of acceleration. Okay, here's a gap that it could go for it. Nice, okay, go, just commit. Are you gonna go to the median? What are you gonna do? Okay, oh wow. Okay, it can go in the left lane. Now it did it, but it did it like a 15-year-old. Yeah, it did it just fine. The reason it worked out the way it did was because of this red light, and the car behind me was no longer trying to, go 45 or 50 miles an hour. It was already slowing down for this light that created this scenario where the car was able to scoot out, but in a very awkward, uncommitting way. I would have wanted to go for one of those gaps, but with a full acceleration commit so that there wasn't any doubt. But you got to give the car credit. It did it. I did not intervene. I did not touch the accelerator. And it did it. It used the median and it used the creep network. It'll be interesting to look at that in post to see if anybody thinks it was going to go straight through the median, then it changed its mind and was in a good position to wait, which is the entire beauty of this solution, is that as long as you are set up in the pose that if you have to wait, you can, because you're not sticking out in the other lanes. And that's why this is working, is because it's setting itself up correctly to be able to wait, even if it initially didn't think it would have to. Okay. On to the next thing. Couple green lights here. I think we're in slow enough traffic. I'm not going to get any phantom braking. I have not felt any phantom braking on this drive, but you usually don't feel phantom braking too much when you're in traffic with cars that are designated as follow me's this close. That was fine. It went straight through both of those. Yeah, we're just in traffic mode now. This is what you would call easy stuff for FSD now. All right, everybody. We are one turn away from a intervention disengagement free drive. It's a, ooh, that car did not like the way I did it. See that car right there? He was uncomfortable with the way I braked in this line. He was on me with like 24 inches. It'd be interesting to see if my, okay, hold on a second. What are you gonna do here? All right, it's wide open and it went for it. I couldn't see because of that car, but the car was go ahead and creeping and it went for it. All right, congratulations, 10.69. Elon, Ashok, and the FSD team. I'm really happy with what I've seen so far today. I've driven, you know, quite a bit already. Simple unprotected lefts. We saw, you know, kind of a complicated one there. It's got the tools to succeed. It's not going to get it 100% of the time, but it's getting it a lot better than it used to. Hey, I'm going to go get this video uploaded for you guys to watch. Please leave comments below. Have a great day.